In the early 1800s, John Bell, his wife Lucy, and their children left Edgecombe County, North Carolina, to settle in Red River, Tennessee, a peaceful rural community not far from present-day Nashville. Along with 10 other families, they carved out a new life, cultivating land and building a reputation of respect and prosperity. But under the calm surface of this budding town, tensions quietly brewed. Among those who also migrated from North Carolina were the Batts, a family whose path would soon cross fatally with the Bells. Tragedy struck the Batts household in 1816. Frederick Batts, the patriarch, was severely injured in a farm accident and left permanently disabled. Facing financial ruin, he began selling off his land. John Bell purchased a portion of that land at a price that Frederick's wife, Kate Batts, believed was far below its true value. She accused Bell of taking advantage of their desperation. Her hatred ran deep, and she reportedly swore an oath John Bell and his family would suffer for their greed. The feud worsened when Bell also bought a young enslaved girl from Frederick's brother, Benjamin Batts. Bell initially left the girl with her mother, intending to retrieve her later. But by then, Benjamin had changed his mind, demanding more money. Bell, not wanting trouble, sold the girl back at a higher price. This final exchange only deepened the animosity. Bell considered the matter closed, but what he didn't know was that Benjamin had filed a legal case against him, accusing him of extortion. Because Bell missed the hearing, the court ruled in Benjamin's favor. When word of this ruling reached the local church, John Bell was excommunicated, an act that some believe opened the door to something far darker. Kate Batts was a woman of strong personality, loud, stubborn, and widely disliked. Some in the town suspected her of practicing witchcraft, though no one dared confront her. After her husband's accident, she became the head of her household and the source of growing fear and whispers in Red River. In 1817, shortly after his excommunication, John Bell encountered something strange on his property. While hunting, he saw a creature with the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit, covered in thick black fur. He fired his musket, but the beast vanished without a trace. He told no one. But the oddities didn't stop there. Soon the Bell family began hearing noises at night, stones pelting the sides of the house, mysterious thuds on the roof and walls, and the sound of rats gnawing beneath the beds. Investigations turned up nothing, and then things escalated. Betsy Bell, John's 14-year-old daughter, was the first to experience direct physical harm. One night, she was jolted awake, her hair tied tightly to her bedpost. An invisible force slapped her repeatedly. Her screams brought the family rushing in, only to find red, hand-shaped welts across her face. Soon, the younger boys bore similar marks. Something unseen was attacking them in their sleep. At first, John Bell urged silence, hoping to protect the family's reputation. But the disturbances continued, and their prayers did nothing to stop it. Over the following weeks, things became more sinister. Apparitions appeared, strange animals, talking birds, and a girl in a green dress hanging by her wrists from a tree. The Bell slaves reported talking creatures in the fields. Fear and exhaustion plagued the household. Desperate John Bell confided in his friend and neighbor, James Johnston. Johnston and his wife stayed at the Bell home to witness the events for themselves. After hearing the ghostly noises and seeing the supernatural effects, Johnston demanded the entity identify itself. A voice replied with a guttural hum. Word of the haunting spread quickly. Curious visitors traveled from across the state and beyond to witness the now famous Bell Witch. The spirit became more vocal and violent, especially toward John Bell. Even General Andrew Jackson, a national war hero and future president of the United States, heard of the story. Intrigued, he traveled to the Bell farm with a group of men. But as they neared the property, their wagon wheels inexplicably locked up. Only after Jackson rebuked a bragging soldier who threatened the witch with silver bullets did the wagon move again. Though he had planned a longer stay, Jackson returned to Nashville after just one night. Legend has it, he remarked, "I'd rather face the entire British Army than spend another night with that witch." Curiously, not all members of the Bell family were targeted. Lucy Bell, John's wife, was treated with kindness by the entity. When she fell ill with pleurisy in 1820, the spirit soothed her with hymns and mysteriously delivered fresh fruit to her bedside. Her health improved, while her husband's rapidly declined. By December of that year, John Bell was bedridden. On December 20th, he was found dead. A strange, bitter odor filled the room. But peace did not last. In 1821, Betsy Bell became engaged to a local man named Joshua Gardner. That spring, she once again saw the ghostly girl in the green dress hanging from the tree. The apparition warned her not to marry Gardner. Fearing the spirit's return, Betsy broke off the engagement. Gardner soon left town. The witch's influence, it seemed, reached far beyond her grave. What truly happened at the Bell farm? Because of poor record-keeping in the early 1800s, the exact details remain elusive. Most people at the time could not read or write, so the events were preserved orally, passed down through decades before being written. Could the haunting have been fabricated? Some researchers believe so. One theory suggests the entire affair was a cover-up for John Bell's murder. Lucy Bell, it turns out, was the younger sister of Kate Williams Batts, raising the possibility of a family conspiracy. Perhaps Lucy helped exact revenge on her husband, and the witch's wrath spared her as a result. But why torment the children? That part of the story remains inconsistent with the theory. Another suspect is Richard Powell, a schoolteacher who eventually married Betsy. Powell was educated, curious about the paranormal, and some speculate he may have staged or manipulated events to win Betsy's affection. His first wife, Esther, died in 1821, the same year Gardner proposed to Betsy. Could Powell have engineered the haunting to eliminate his rival? It's unlikely, but not impossible. Still, many believe the haunting was real, and that Kate Batts truly summoned a spirit, or worse, to punish John Bell and his kin. The Bell Witch legend didn't end with John Bell's death. Strange occurrences have continued in Adams, Tennessee, even into the modern era. One man, Bob Bell, a descendant of the original family, recalled a chilling incident. His grandmother called in terror one night, certain someone had broken into the house. When Bob's father arrived, everything appeared normal until they entered the kitchen. The locked cabinet holding expensive china had been flung open. Plates lay scattered across the floor. Yet not a single dish was broken. Tim Henson, a local historian and museum curator, also warns visitors not to take anything from the Bell property, especially from the cave that sits nearby. He told of a man who ignored the warnings and took a rock from the cave. Within 3 days, that man reportedly lost his job, his home, and even his wife. Coincidence? Possibly. But those who've lived near the old Bell farm are cautious not to tempt fate.